Hey bookworms, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Sam and in today's video we will be talking about all the books I've given 5 stars so far this year. So I've read about 31 books and we're currently in April 24th. Yeah, April 24th because we had that stupid little alarm thing off yesterday. I have given 8 books 5 stars. I've become really strict on the books that I am giving 5 stars. Like I remember, not last year but the year before that, I was more lenient to my ratings, and then last year I became a bit more stricter, and that's definitely stayed with me this year because I literally have only 8, which is like, it's not many, but at the same time I don't think it's that bad. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it with the first book, which is a romance book, and it's the only romance book actually on this list, which is shocking. But let's talk about it. So that is Kiss Her Once for Me. I read this in January. I believe this was actually the first book of January and of 2023 that I even read. I saw it everywhere, so I picked it up without even knowing what it's about. And this is a fake dating second chance with forced proximity trope all in this. So I was absolutely ecstatic when I found out because, first of all, I absolutely love forced proximity. Fake dating, it can be iffy and ummy. It can be iffy and ummy. We're gonna keep that because we don't know what that means now, but what a new word. In this book, we're following this character who meets this woman, and over the course of a day, they become really, really close, and she kind of falls for her. Not really someone who's into like the whole insta love thing, but this book, there was something about this book that was just very different, and that made me fall in love with it because our character is pretty much not having a great time. She's going to lose her job, her apartment, she needs money, and then this guy that she knows basically says to her, look, I'm going to get my inheritance, but I need to be married, and you need money, so I'll give you like 100 or 200 grand, can't remember exactly how much. So they make this deal to pretend that they're engaged and that they're going to get married. She has to go away with him back to his family cabin so she can meet family and keep up the ruse of them fake being engaged. However, it's not so simple. I mean, it never is it? Because his sister is that woman that she had a thing with on that night before, in I think it was like last Christmas Eve or something. So she's now pretending to be engaged to that woman's brother, but she has feelings still for this woman, and that woman clearly may or may not have feelings for her still. So it's very messy. If you're looking for a romance book that is messy with drama, this one's it, because so much stuff happens. Even the forced proximity, because our 2 female characters end up getting trapped inside this cabin together because there's a big snowstorm, and it's just honestly perfect. I loved every single second of this book. I loved the characters, I loved the story, the pace, just the way it all came together. It just works really, really well. This author really knows how to write fake dating properly. And yeah, if you have not read this book and you enjoy romance, then I highly recommend reading this one because, oh my god, it's 5 stars for a reason. I love it. So next up is fantasy. Now I only actually have 2 fantasy on this list that are 5 stars because when it comes to fantasy, I don't just throw out 5 stars. I feel like it's really hard for me to give a fantasy book a 5 star. Like even the Sarah J Maas books, most of you probably have given 5 stars, but I think it was like Crescent City book I gave a 4. I'm just really strict with fantasy. Like I feel like I'm really picky and it really has to stand out and be something for me to give it that. So yeah, the first one for the fantasy list, we have Legends and Lattes. This is a book that I read at some point this year, I mean obviously. And I picked this one up because everybody was talking about it last year. It was on their 2022 favourite books of the year. And I was like, okay, why don't I just pick this up, see what it's about. It sounds kind of cute, and at the time I was looking for something cozy, and I think I did a reading vlog for this one. I will link that below. I will try and put a thumbnail here. I've edited it. Legends and Latte, we're pretty much following an orc who has decided to retire from hunting, bounty hunting, whatever she does, killing people, and she wants to open up a coffee shop. Except the place that she wants to open up a coffee shop, nobody really knows what coffee is, and that is what this book is. Of following this character who opens up a coffee shop, makes all these different friends. Her friends actually makes her cute. There's like a rat that she makes friends with who doesn't like to speak, and he just does, and I freaking love him. Oh my god, I love him. My heart just went out to this character so much. I was like, can I keep you? And there's another book coming out in the series, I think this year, called Bookshelf something. I'll put it up here. But yeah, this book gave me exactly what I wanted, which is that cozy read where you could just get into it and just absolutely fall in love. Yeah, I don't know, I can't really say much other than this is a cozy book about an orc opening up a little coffee shop, building it up, running it, making these friends. There are some drama in it, but it's just cozy and it's so perfect. So if you are fans of books like TJ Cleans, then you're probably going to love this. So the next fantasy on this list is, oh god, I'm not being able to pronounce this, Hotel Magnifico. Hotel Magnifico. I'm saying this wrong. How do you say this, Arvin?
Magnifique.
Hotel Magnifique. I feel like that still doesn't sound right. Okay, so yeah, I gave this book 5 stars despite not knowing how to say the name. And the funny thing with this one is I have kept like going back and forth if I was going to pick this one up. Like constantly. I remember being in my local Waterstones and my partner was like trying to, not rush me, but trying to get me to come over because apparently I had like a bunch of books for me behind the counter. So this was in my hand and I just kind of went over with it and the woman was like, you're gonna buy this? And I was like, yeah, because I felt pressured. And you know what? It ended up being the best pressured choice I've ever done by buying this. So in this book, we're following this like hotel that sort of like appears and then just suddenly disappears. And it's supposed to be like really magical. And people can't just like go and stay at this hotel. You have to be invited or work there, and it's very like elite. So our main character decides that she wants to go and work in this hotel with her sister because she wants it to be a better life. Well, her sister sort of gets like hired because she can sing, and she sort of forces her way in to this hotel and making sure that she's not separated from her sister. Not everything's really what it seems, and there's like much darker happening here. I absolutely love the magical aspect of this book. I think it was just written really, really well. But something that I loved so much was just the fact that this is a magical hotel that can travel to all these different locations and that people can literally think of a room and that will appear for them. This hotel's always changing. And then the darker part of the story and how it worked, I felt like worked really, really well. I don't feel like it was like a cliche. I don't know, I really got like pulled into the story and just became fascinated with it all. And I really, really loved it. I remember like I was trying to read this really slow because I didn't want it to be over. I remember before as well seeing quite a lot of negative reviews, which is one of the reasons why I was like definitely if I should actually pick this up and read it. I think that's the thing about when it comes to books, we're all different. So I don't think you should let reviews put you off. If something sounds good to you, pick it up. I mean, you can always take it back if you hate it, or you can rent it from your library. Don't let a bad review put you off from reading a book, because I almost did with this book and I loved it. I wish there was going to be more to this, and I'm hoping that, you know, this also can bring out more books. She probably has. I'm going to look into it because I really did enjoy this. It was just magical. So next up, all the rest of the books that I gave 5 stars, pretty much thriller mystery books. So I think you can like tell that the genre I enjoy the most is thriller mystery. And the next book I'm about to... What are you doing? Playing basketball with your head, right? Well, I'm just trying to film a video over here. Get yourself a boyfriend who's mental. As I was saying before, my boyfriend decided to sit there waggling his head around like a weirdo. The next book that I gave 5 stars is actually a book I recently just finished about 2 days ago, and that is The Island by Adrienne McKinty. This is a really popular author for the book The Chain, which it says on here. I've never read anything by this author before. This book's been on my shelf, and I read this book because I'm in the middle of doing like the Ramathon, which is throughout April, and this is one of the books that I said I was going to read. So I was like, okay, just pick it up, just read it. If it's a DNF, it's a DNF, but this ended up not being a DNF. I saw a lot of people saying that this book is very fast paced, and they were not lying. This book doesn't mess around. It gets into it really, really quickly. And there's so much action that's happening that I did not feel bored once. I felt like there's always something happening. It was keeping me intrigued. There was moments that were really tense. There is a twist in this book that I did see coming, but even so, I feel like that just couldn't ruin like my excitement or my experience reading this. It gave me exactly what I wanted, which was fast-paced, plenty of action and drama, tense moments. I just loved it. It was absolutely perfect. I just wish that maybe the ending felt a little bit rushed. But at the same time, I don't know, I still have to give this book 5 stars because it's just so good. I feel like if you're looking for a fast-paced thriller, you should definitely go and pick this one up because it's really good. Next up is a book that I feel is a bit controversial. I feel like a lot of people enjoyed her other books. This one, people have either loved it or hated it. And I'm obviously one of the people that enjoyed it because it's here on this list. And that is Holly Jackson's, oh my god, my book's ruined. That is Holly Jackson's 5 to 5. Ow! Punched me in the face. Okay, ouch. So this is Holly Jackson's newest book that came out this year. She was the one who wrote all the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, which were so good. So when she announced this book, I was like, well, yeah, obviously I'm getting it. So it's pretty dangerous. So in this book, we're following these characters who are in this RV and they're heading for spring break. And then something happens and the RV's now broke down and there's a sniper outside. He's like, one of you got a secret, you need to tell me or people are going to start dying. I felt like the intensity of this book was really done well, and the way it counts down from like, I think it counts down from like 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. It's like over 8 hours, which really well. I feel like the book built up that intenseness. I really think that the author did really well on creating one of the characters who I felt like was hated. That was Holly Jackson's intentions, was to make you not like this character. Yeah, she succeeded because everybody hates him. I was like, please die. Please die. And then we have the character Red, who honestly was like a really interesting character because she's kind of like at the very beginning of the book, like she's staring at the pattern in these cards, like trying to figure out what this pattern reminds her of. And she's very quiet and she's obviously like gone through some stuff and she's sort of like traveling with her best friend. I can't remember exactly, like so it's her best friend's brother, and then his friend and that person's girlfriend or something. I really enjoyed this. I think if you did enjoy Holly Jackson's other books, pick this up, you might enjoy it. Like I said, don't let other reviews put you off because you might enjoy it compared to other people. I enjoyed this one. I actually love to reread this again. I do understand why people didn't like it. Like I can get why people didn't like it and why they had a problem with it. But for me, I loved it. And when people say it's a waste of time, I'm like, no, it's not. Next up is a book that I think was actually on my 5-star prediction video, and that is Local Woman Missing. Again, I read this month. This is a book that I was really nervous about reading just because I was like, is this going to be a 5-star? And it ended up being a 5-star. So we're following this woman who basically disappeared or something. And then I believe like someone else has disappeared. Yeah, so in this book, basically this woman goes missing at the very beginning of the book. And a couple of years later, another woman's gone missing, but so did her daughter. However, the daughter returned like years later, but there's this whole mystery surrounding like what happened. Is she really the daughter? What's going on? And I just felt like this was really done well because I remember like, I think I binged this book within a day or two. It was so addictive and I'm so glad that I predicted it to be a 5 stars. I wasn't wrong. This is so good. If you've not read this book yet, you need to read it. I'm not even kidding, this book is so good. The hype for this book is real because I have seen a lot of people talking about this book, a lot of people saying how good it is, especially like people like Gabby Reed who reads like a lot of thrillers. This is one of those books that she said was really good and she's not kidding because it's amazing. Next up we have another book, again I think it was on my 5-star prediction list, a book that I really wanted for a while and I got for Christmas, and that is The Overnight Guest. Oh, this book is crazy. This book is so fast paced and so intense and just like the stakes get higher and higher while you're reading this one. We're actually from this woman who's gone to stay in this like old farmhouse where these murders had happened and someone had disappeared. She's gone there for just some, peace and quiet, and then she finds a child out in the snow. She brings this child in because obviously this kid could die if that, and she's trying to get some answers and starts to learn that maybe this house has a lot more secrets than she thought. But we're also from the point of view of the family, like before, like when the family got murdered and the girl who went missing. And we also follow the point of view of some kid that we're not really too sure at first who this kid is, what's going on. And I have heard a lot of people say that there's too many points of view in this book. But for me personally, like I'm someone who doesn't like a lot of points of view. Like it can get confusing, but I don't feel like that was the case in this book. I feel like it's very easy to follow. It's very easy to know who's who, what point of view we're reading from. And every single point of view was really interesting and kept me interested. Like when that chapter would end and we go back to another point of view, I'll be like, oh no, I want to know what's going to happen, and the same thing over and over again with each chapter. This book has got that cozy, intense, isolated feeling that I absolutely love when it comes to mysteries. Like isolated feelings are like, yes, give me, I love it. So yeah, Overnight Guest, so good. And then the final book on this list is another book that I read recently because Ramthon makes you read a lot. Just so you know, I'm actually in like the spooky sort of genre for my marathon, which is why I'm reading more thrillers. So yeah, and this book is called All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. She actually wrote A Flicker in the Dark, which by the way, gave 5 stars for. And this is her second book, and again, another 5-star. I can't wait for her to bring out more books. She's so good at writing thriller mysteries and shocking you. You'll think you've worked something out and you haven't. She'll shock you. She'll be like, you thought. In this book, we're basically from this woman whose child went missing 364 days ago. Her and her husband are no longer together, and her husband kind of just wants her to move on, let it go. And she's like, no, I can't do that. I can't just move on, let it go. She wants to find out what happened. So yeah, throughout the book, she's basically trying to keep the memory of him alive, discover what happened. And she slowly starts to like get clues and things going on, but you also get like her backstory as well to when she's younger and something weird happened back there, so it all kind of like entwines. But the twist of what happened, I did not see coming. Like, that shocked me. I don't even know what I expected, but I did not expect what happened in this, and it was just really, really good. Her books are brilliant. If you've not picked her books up, please go and read her books. She's absolutely incredible at writing thriller mysteries. I mean, there's 2 books I've read by her now, and both of them I've gave 5 stars, so you need to go check out her books. So yeah, that's all 8 books I've gave 5 stars for so far in 2023, which don't seem like a lot, but I feel like it's a decent amount still. We've still got the rest of this year. I'm hoping I'll get another 5-star read by the end of this month. Maybe, I don't know. We will see. Let me know below if you've read any of these books. Did you give any of them 5 stars? Or let me know just in the comments like what books you actually gave 5 stars to this year so far anyway. Maybe I'll pick some up. Maybe I've got some on my wish list that make me read a lot sooner. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and until next time, bye!